Burr. Welcome back to Tom's Garage again. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back, welcome back. Today, I dug something out of the shed to play with. Echo PB-251 blower. Yeah, that thing's been sitting out there in the shed for a while, most of the year. When it's very cold, it'll crank, but after a few seconds, it won't even hardly idle. I believe we're gonna have a leak somewhere in the crankshaft seals or somewhere. So we're gonna do a pressure test. We're gonna pull this thing apart, take the engine out, pressure test it in that pan of water. And I hope that water's deep enough. I believe it is. We're gonna find out. I didn't want to use a 5-gallon bucket. All I got's a dark blue one and you can't really see it that well. You ought to be able to see it well right there. All right, let's pull this thing apart. What I'll do, most of this stuff I've had for, God, 30 years or so. I made these. You know, I used to work on, I used to be a steel dealer and I used to work on just strictly steel stuff. That's why most of this is for steel, but I'm sure we could find one in here that'll fit in replace of that. Put that block in place of that carburetor, then block off the muffler. Keep the spark plug in it. Tear it down to the bare engine and pressurize it and dunk it. Right there. Oh. Let's get busy. Let's do it. Let's do it. I ain't done a good pressure test in a long time. Let's see, let's get this carburetor pulled off here. I've already checked the carburetor, it checks good. Grab a screwdriver. Carburetor checks good, I did the testing on it. And of course the spark arrestor's not clogged. It's snot. This thing is so old, I bet the seals are dried up and leaky. Leaky little seals. Let's see. There's that. Let's see how fast we can pull this thing apart. We're gonna need that gasket. We'll need to use that gasket. All right, let's keep on keeping on here. Put my Phillips bit in there. Well, that screw's missing. Let's see, we got one here. I've already got the hose pulled off. The tube. Let's see, we're missing any screws. This thing here ought to just pull her out off like that. Trying to keep it half organized. Okay, we'll have to pull that plug out to be able to get that plastic off there, I believe. I believe. Yep. Let's get this front cover pulled off. Give me an extension here. All right. we need to slide this off. Yeah, maybe not. We'll wait till last if we have to pull that off. What is that? Is that a Phillips? It is. I'm getting out of your view there. I keep sliding further and further away. I'm not sure how old this thing is, but I believe it's pretty old. I believe it's pretty old. Oh, let's see, did I miss any screws? Nope. Okay, let me get that fan pulled off there. That's going to be a 13 millimeter. 13 millimeter. Oh. Okay, now we're going to get them motor mount bolts out of there. But first, we're going to need to, let's see, we're going to have to get that, all that stuff there pulled out. Let's get this fuel tank pulled out of the way. I want to get it deep enough in that pan where the crankshaft is completely submerged. We'll have to get this cover off to get the fuel tank out. Yep, gotta get the flywheel off to get that plastic off. Let's see, this should come out with the engine. That way we don't have to pull all that apart. Let's go ahead and get these motor mount bolts out of there. I think that's going to be a 3 millimeter. Let's see what we have. What do we have? What do we have? 3 millimeter. Yep. Seems like I just worked on one of these recently. I think I did just work on one of these. I don't have the video of it yet. Come out of there, little screw. There it is. There goes the fuel tank. Set the fuel tank over there with the screws that come out of that. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. Let's see, we gotta get this cover off. Gotta get this off right there. Let's see, where are we at now? Got one more screw right there. We didn't see that. That's the last thing holding this on. that stuff. Let's see, let's get this disconnected. Disconnect that. Let's see, I'll get that disconnected way back there. Or is there a place here to disconnect it? No, not really. Let me unhook it from right there. Is that a 3 or that's a 532? Ground wire, and I just dropped that screw. Let's see, we'll get it unhooked from here. Unplug it from the curl. All right, there's all that. Don't lose the throttle linkage. Oh, where's that screw I dropped? Let me reach down and get it. Put that screw back in there like that so we don't lose it. There you go. What we'll do is dunk this thing in the water, pressurize the crankcase. It could be leaking right there too. That's where dirt usually sticks, is where it's leaking. It could be a crankshaft seal on each side. It could be the gasket holding it together. It could be where the cylinder bolts to the top of the crankcase. First thing we need to do is get this muffler off. You can see somebody's already been working on it. They got them screws broke off, and that was not even tightened. That's probably cross-threaded. Piston and everything looks good. I ran the bore scope down in there, and they've still got a good crosshatch pattern. The bolts holding the cylinder to the crankcase, they don't look like they're loose, or at least I can see the front ones. I can't see the other ones on the intake side. But we're gonna find out where it's leaking. All right. First thing we need to do, left that drawer open, about showed y'all something I didn't need to show you, not on camera. Let's see, let's find a good piece of rubber. That's a good piece of rubber. What I'm gonna do is lay this across there, bolt the muffler back to it. That way the exhaust port is sealed. Just like that. And we'll get the thread started. Gotta make sure I don't move this piece of rubber. Okay. She seems to be perfectly sealed. Now for the carburetor side. I need to get me one of them carburetor, the spark plugs. I need to get one of those spark plugs. I've seen somebody on YouTube make one where you can hook your pressure tester using the spark plug. And all you do is block these off without having to find the adapter to replace the carburetor. Let's see, let's find one of these that might fit. That's way too wide. Here's another one. See, look at there. Dirt daubers had built a nest in these things. I'll tell you, them dirt daubers built a nest anywhere. I don't know how they got in here and got in my toolbox. This one here looks like it'll work. It do. Okay, what did I do with the screws holding the carburetor on? Let me grab them. That's why this block is so thick, because these screws are so long. But this ought to work. And we'll just put that gasket back on there. It don't matter how it goes. Everything's nice and blocked off. I'm hoping this block is thick enough where I don't have to find different screws, but I will if I have to. Yeah, that's good. Good, 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 good. We're about ready for a pressure test. Let's find our favorite pressure tester. This is a MITYVAC MV8500, yeah. It says this thing's good for bleeding brakes too, but that one I bought from Stihl back in '94, I ruined it trying to bleed brakes, and I just don't like bleeding brakes with these things. I just get a buddy over there to pump and hold, pump and hold. Here, right there looks like it's kinked a little bit, but I believe it'll be all right. Now I want to see if this thing will hold pressure at all. Flip it over. I got it on vacuum here last time I used it. Pressure. It's holding good. Right there at 10. Well, I don't want to do no more than that. I shouldn't have done it that much. All right, this seems to be holding pretty good. I forget what the specs are. It's got to hold so many inches of bar or whatever for a certain amount of time. Yeah, this pan ain't gonna be deep enough. And all you do is look for bubbles coming out. It's not deep enough to. Yeah, let me hit pause. I got to put some more water in this bucket, or I may just go fill that bucket over there up with water. Yeah, let's do that. Let me hit pause. All right, from the time it took me to go out there and fill up, I didn't want to use this bucket because I used it the other day for breaking leaves, and it's kind of nasty, but I washed it. From the time it took me to do that, it hadn't dropped a bit. It hadn't dropped a bit. All right, let's set this thing down here. Let me lower the camera a little bit here. I got paint all over this tripod now. I can't raise and lower the leg. Okay, it is still holding. Still holding right at 10. That's the water coming out of the spark plug boot. Let me set this over there. It's leaking from somewhere. Kind of hard to tell. It's leaking from under. It looks like the spark plug, but it's not. Those bubbles are coming out from under. Grab me a pointer. Those bubbles are coming out from under this plate right there. So they're probably coming out of that crankshaft or somewhere and going up through here and just kind of following along the metalwork. It stopped now. It may have just been an air pocket trapped behind that flywheel or something. See if I can roll it over. If I can get my big head out of your way, I know you can't see it well. Well, I don't see it bubbling on it. Oh, there goes a little bubble. That might have been a trapped air pocket. But if it was a leaking gasket or a seal, especially having 10 pounds in it, it's dropped a little bitty bit, but that's probably because I pulled it loose a little bit right there on the end of that hose. But I don't see it leaking anywhere. If it was leaking, it would be obvious. It would be real obvious. Let me roll my sleeve up here. Get my shirt wet. It's already cold enough out there. Nope, see, I just pulled it loose again. That dropped it down to 0. Let me re-pump it up. Re-pump it up. How's that? shot right there. Can you see it? I pulled it loose right there. Let's pump it back up. All right, this is the flywheel side. I don't see nothing over there. That's the, well, actually, that's the flywheel side. They're using that the same side as the clutch side. But this is just kind of a starter. This is where the flywheel would usually be, but they're using the flywheel back here on the back. See, it's leaking right there again. But I tell you what, this thing ain't leaking a bit, except for right there where I caused it to. All right. She's perfectly sealed, in my opinion. I believe that, well, I shouldn't have. That muffler's gonna be full. Okay. Good enough. And that's how I quickly test for a leaking crankshaft seal, or somewhere there could be a leak in the. I couldn't do a vacuum test and do that because I couldn't tell if it was sucking water into the engine. I don't want that to happen. But as long as you got it pressurized, you know you're not going to really hurt it unless you let the pressure drop to zero. Yep. Well, I think what I'm going to do is put her back together and do some more diagnosing on it. See what's going on with it. Because the cylinder looks good, compression tested good, pressure test was good, no leaks. I'm impressed. All right, let's get this thing, let's get cleaned up. I'm gonna put it back together. And let me test this carburetor. Let me raise this camera back up here. Yeah, I got a big glop of paint on that one leg right there. I can't pull it out. One leg is bent from letting the table down on this tripod. And then the other leg's got a big old glop of gray paint on it. I know what I want for Christmas. All I want for Christmas. We're gonna test that carburetor again. Let me grab my carburetor testing pan. Hey. All right. This is a pressure tester, or a vacuum tester. No, it's pressure tester. Blah. Okay. Okay. Hope this hose right here is big enough. Let's see, we'll put it on this in here. Shoot gas everywhere. That should be holding. Yep, there it goes. That's the return side, so it is purging. I'm gonna have to change sizes for the bigger fuel inlet valve on that side. Unless I can squeeze that on there. I believe I can, yeah. Close your little valve. And there it goes. It's holding good. Everything's holding good. I've already taken this carburetor apart once and cleaned it. It's very clean. Ooh, now I can't get it off. Grab my screwdriver and push it off instead of pulling on it. And be very careful when you're trying to get the fuel lines off, if it's on the equipment. I have broken these before. These are pretty delicate plastic. Let's go over to the bench where we got more light. Got more light. Okay. I'm going to pull this diaphragm off and check that needle. Check that mechanism again. If I remember right, I put a new diaphragm in it. I did. just wanted to make sure of that. Yeah, I think that's a new diaphragm. Let me grab my little tool. All right, when you take that diaphragm off, you've got this lever that operates the needle. It's a Zama carburetor, so find out what we have here. It's a RB. Don't know how well you can see that. It's got an RB stamped in it right there. The Zama gauge, here's an RB there. So all these different models should be flat straight across. Let me grab my flashlight. The stainless steel there ain't magnetized. It's not magnetic. So you want to lay that across there and make sure this isn't pushed down too far. If it is, you'll have to bend it up because you want it to go right across there, and just from the deck, don't leave the gaskets on it, but just flat across the deck. That should barely touch. It should be right there on it. So that is right. See, these models here should be like this. Which is a totally different carburetor. Okay. I got one of those for, I'll show you. I got one of this for Walbro too. Metering lever gauge, Walbro. And on the Walbro, you got all these different style carburetors. All these different styles. WTA and WT and WA. These are, to me, they're most common. So what you would do is just referring to this. So it should be even with that. Of course, it's not going to be for this, but, or, you know, it's not a Walbro, but it's saying it should be flat too, barely touching. I know my big old hairy knuckles are in the way and you can't hardly see it, but hold it like that and you can see better. See how when I slide this across the bare deck of the carburetor, it's just barely touching that metering lever. I hate that word, lever. You can see right there, it's perfect. Okay. That's just one more thing we can look at. Boy, look at that. In what, less than 20 minutes? Look at the mess we've made. Looks like a Home Depot truck flew over and just dumped out a whole bunch of Echo stuff. Well, all right, boys and girls, that's the way I like to pressure check and vacuum test, and everything tests good. We're going to keep going if I have to. I'm just going to buy a new carburetor from HIPAA. They're like less than 20 bucks. After I take 3 or 4 days to put all this stuff back together. You want me to do a 45-minute video putting this back together? Didn't think so. Well, all right, boys and girls, thanks for watching another Tom Louie video. Whew, y'all be good to each other. Holler if you need me. And you know what? All the guys in the repair community and all the guys in the lawn care community, you know, years ago we used to trade stickers. Matter of fact, I still got, well, I'll show you some of the stickers I have in here. KB's, DRH, Scotty Daniels, Steve, the Transit Camper Matt. I still got a bunch of these in here. Favorite meal sauce. And I still got a pack of, yeah, I still got a pack of these. Big pack. But I got an idea what I'm gonna do with that door right there. I believe I'm gonna make me a brand new sticker wall. And I need some more stickers from y'all. If anybody still has stickers, want to trade stickers, I may get me some new stickers made. Those are ugly. That's back before I had a beard. Wasn't that back before I had a beard in that sticker? Yeah, it was. Look at there. Look at that ugly mug. Yeah, I'm gonna decorate. I'm gonna do different things, not just stickers. But you know, even in the summertime when the door's raised, I can look up and see all this stuff. And I just hope stickers stick to this. I'll put 3 coats of semi-gloss paint on it. They ought to. Or what I will do is just take a piece of wood and maybe go over that and then put the stickers on it. Somehow or another, we'll make it work. Yeah, I need stickers. If y'all want to be on my sticker wall, I don't care what kind of business you have. You can be a locksmith, chiropractor. I don't care. I'll put you on my wall over there. I got plenty of room. Too bad I can't put pegs on it and hang tools from it. I wouldn't be able to pick it up and get stuff in here. But anyhow, y'all be good, boys and girls. Love y'all to death, man. Thanks for hanging out and watching another tumbler video. We'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all be good.